Hey friends, and welcome back to another episode of Real Housewives of Moto, the Ruts and Rumbles edition. We are on episode 17, which would be Joey Savacci, and I have once again convinced the lovely Toolman Dan to come and give me his time. So what's up, Dan?
Well, I think this is 3, right? So this is more than just a habit now. Is that like?
Yep.
So I guess this is a thing, Allie.
Good
It's me
things
and
come in
you.
threes.
It's
I
me
love
and
it.
you.
I love it.
Ruts and Rumbles on the
I'm
Real
so here for
Housewives
it.
of Moto. Wow, I can't even believe I'm part of that portion some way or
Yeah.
another. But that's okay. I support
You know, you're one of the few men that doesn't hate me, so I appreciate that. Got myself into some hot water again this week, which we can talk about. But yeah, episode 17. I cannot believe we're there. But I think it was timely. I feel like our friends over at Main Event Moto that you help out with launched the vintage pod of 2017 Vegas, and I just think about poor Joey, and like I don't know that his soul ever came back in his body fully. That's what I think about when I think about Vegas. Like,
Is there? I'm trying to think. Like, is there any other race that ended like that for a championship? I mean, that was. I can't think of anything else that was like that. Just
I don't know. I can't think of anything. I mean, I think it was so many things that like we knew with the 450s coming that like it was gonna come down to Eli and Dungy, and so we just like weren't prepared for it. I don't know. Like I was there. I've said it a million times on record. But then I'm an AC fan. You're an AC fan.
I'm
We
an
are
AC
we are
fan.
large AC
Yes,
fans.
we are.
And so I was freaking out because with the points, I'm like, I think Adam can win, and I can't do the math fast enough. I can't do big brain math like Jet. So I couldn't do it in the moment. And then the takeout, and I was just like, what planet are we on? Like,
Wild,
so
huh?
yeah. I mean, if you could be at one race in the last 20 years, like I mean, I'm biased, but that one's a pretty good one.
You said 2 names that struck my nerve. You want a fun fact?
Always.
I am building a toolbox right now for Adam Cincerillo, and
Oh,
I'm
I love
also
it.
building a toolbox right now for Zach Osborne.
I like both of those humans.
Yeah.
They are both quality humans. That's cool. You should send me and or Brap Yap a sneak peek of those. So that's fun.
I wonder who Brop Yop is.
I don't know, but she's really smart and really funny and really witty and really weirdly connected. People really trust her for some
Yeah.
reason. I don't think they should all the time, but I'll know.
She
She's
has
a
good
one.
information. She has good
She
information.
does. People talk and it's dumb. One little comment on Adam. He hard launched the girlfriend comment.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
last
Hold on a
episode.
second. I did not know. I did not even know that he had a girlfriend. I didn't know who this was. Her name Ashley
Ashley.
Brown. Is it
Ashley
Brown?
Rowan.
Ashley
Nicole.
Rowan.
She goes by, her business name is Ashley Nicole. She does jewelry. That's dope. I kind of want some. I'm going to be like, hey, you taking commissions?
So like I had no idea who this girl was. So like I think you posted it. So I clicked on it because I wanted to see who she was. And she's got a shitload of followers. Like I didn't know anyhow. Yeah, good for Adam, dude. You know what's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be kind of mean. But his last girlfriend,
Jess?
was it Jess? Is that the British one?
No, she was a field hockey player at UMass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was she British? Did I miss that? I mean, I met her. Oh, it's
Maybe
terrible.
she
I'm a
wasn't
terrible
British.
human.
I don't know. Anyhow.
Yeah.
To me, she wasn't very attractive, but she was super cool. But
Yeah.
this new one, man, she's a ripper.
Well, if we have a little green tea, little Kawi green tea, you know where we've seen her before. Jason Anderson dated her.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh my God, you're right.
This is the stuff I'm here
oh,
for.
Oh God, okay, that makes sense now. She's been around.
Yep. So I posted something about them on my page, and I put two green hearts, and everybody's like, "I know what those 2 green hearts mean." And I'm like, "This is my world. This is where I shine."
Oh my God! Now that you say it, it came back to me.
Mm-hmm. But I was thinking about it. I was like, she's been around Moto. She was at the house party that Hayden Deegan was at last weekend with the face tattoo gambler guy. So I'm like, she understands the industry. She understands when she needs to be quiet. Like she knows like, some things you don't say on record. So I'm like, good for him. Like, I'm all for it.
Hey,
and I'm going to order some jewelry.
Have you heard any more about the whole scandal with Mickey Mace and Jillian and Justin? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear it. Let's go.
This was not on our list. We're
I
deviating from the
know,
list. That's
but
okay.
but you said the name, and then
I
I
know.
remember seeing something maybe like last week or 2 weeks ago or something like that, and so then it just sparked my memory.
I will say this. And it's very similar to Hayden Deegan. I mean, Jillian comes from money. We know that. Um, and I think that like Hayden, they've both lived in this world of privilege. And at least, Hayden is amazing at his craft too. So I don't know that they quite live in like reality, but I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like I'm not being like they're so clueless. It's just like they're so rich and they're so famous, like they don't live in the same world as us.
Yeah.
And like I have friends in Tallahassee and like they've seen her at parties like at Florida State. And so I was like, oh, this is not a good look. So I asked around, I asked some of my people around, my girlies, and they're like, I think you're dead on, Allie. Like she just has she's lived in this, very affluent world, and she loves Justin. Like, there's nothing weird going on. Like she's never really had a normal childhood. It's kind of like Hayden too. And it's like, yeah, okay, now they're adults, so to speak, and they have their own money and they want to go party. And but everybody was like, no, she's super down for Justin. And like I think it's weird that she doesn't come to the races every weekend. But I'm also, a diehard, and I'm like, I would love to go to the races every weekend and be in the rigs and all that. So,
Yeah.
um, I think that the internet made it out to be more than it was. I think it was probably like not a good look. Like I think the video didn't make her look great. But from everybody that I talked to, they were like, no, she's a down ass chick. So I'm like, cool. All right, that's all I need to know.
All right.
So
Well, there you go. Nothing going on.
that's
All good.
that's the tea there. But hey, Jillian, anytime you want to come talk, like come talk to Real Housewives of Moto, because I got questions. Um, Talking about things that got me in trouble on the internet this week, we learned right before pressing record that your girl is back in Instagram jail. Yay!
I don't know. You
Um,
got to stop getting your. I mean, we haven't been
I
at this for
know,
that long, and you've been in jail like multiple times. Like, I don't. You really
I
need to
know.
watch what you're saying, Allie.
It's ridiculous. I know. I'm gonna pay for the stupid little blue check mark because it gets you like 1/10 of an amount of stuff from Meta. So anywho, I posted no, actually I did not post. I had Hayden's Snapchat sent to me several times about this retrofitted helmet that Duff had built. I thought it was cool. And it was, his Alpine Stars helmet and a camelback. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." It said, we're going to put Kool-Aid in it, obviously not. But everybody was like, "Was this not everybody? My girls, no man asked this." So let me tell you, the men know, they understand, but my girls were like, "Is this legal?" I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. I know the GNCC guys do it, but I don't know like where the AMA rules play in. And so I was like, let me drop the 400-page rule book into an AI bot, and I asked it questions. It basically came back and said, if it's not modified on the bike and it was tested originally with the helmet, it's fine. So come to find out, that is the case. It was originally built into the Alpine Stars helmet. I'm so sorry. Got really aggressive there. I'm so sorry that I don't know everything about every accessory in Moto ever to exist, or who's run it or whatever. Like there's so many people that are like, AP ran it, Blake Baggett ran it. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so triggering. But I posted a reel explaining how I came to that conclusion. And the Deaconites, I've just got to think they're Deaconites. Like the content interaction and engagement that I get when I post about Deegan is like unparalleled. Like I've been, growing the account for about 2.5 months. The Deegan reel has like 15,000 views in less than 24 hours. Like I'm like, this is insane. Like, and I have like 2,000 followers. So I'm like, where are the 13,000 views coming in? So I got this lovely comment, which we're gonna talk about from user M Weaver 658. He's got a picture with his kid in his profile. I really hope you don't have a daughter. So he said, definitely not the first to do it. Blake Baggett, which I'm gonna ask Kel Baggett about this, ran this for a few seasons. Stop being a poser and jumping on the pod space cast. That's one word, first of all.
Hmm.
Bandwagon. You don't know the history of this sport. You sound like a delightful human. Like, how fun are you? So I clap back, not even clap back. I'm genuinely curious. I said, hey, question, respectfully, why comment that? Like, how does it help anything? I mean, you could have kept scrolling, but you decided to bully me instead. You clearly don't know anything about me and my knowledge of the sport. Also, you realize that by commenting, you're only pumping me back into your algorithm. So while I appreciate your engagement, it looks like I somehow trigger you, which is sad because I think that we love the same sport. So maybe you should go ahead and just block me so you don't see my content again. I personally think that the Moto content, more the the better. But sorry that my lack of understanding in every single accessory has offended you. Am I off base, Dan?
No, no, you're not off base. So I get this. I get this quite frequently. It's just it's keyboard warriors, and I did look at Mr. Weaver's Instagram. He has like a handful of followers. It's always the ones, Allie, that have like nobody follows them. Their account's set to private. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it, right? Why and maybe this is just me. I am way too busy to get on the internet and start like starting
Same.
crap with somebody and like talking shit and I have better things to do than that. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe he doesn't have a job or maybe he's got too much time on his hand. I don't know, right? I don't know what his but not just Mr. Weaver. There's a lot of them out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But backing up what you said, for one, you know more than most. I would say you know more than 90% of the fans out there.
Thank you.
You are very connected, so don't let that discourage you.
Not
And
one bit.
I personally, I can't remember Blake Baggett running that setup, which I'm not saying that he didn't. I don't remember it. Um, but whatever, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought
uh,
the discussions would be around like, would you run it? I had some talks about like, I feel like I'd vomit. So if I'm like Zacho or Ando that like they're pukers, like I wouldn't want to drink anything during a moto. Like I thought that's where we were going, but no, 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 no. We were going
yeah.
at Allie.
Well, it's I don't know. It's there there's a lot of podcasts out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm being honest, Allie. He's probably saw your thing and it's like he thinks it's cheesy or corny. The Real Housewives thing, a woman getting into a predominantly male sport. Like
Shocking.
he's just gonna that's what he's running off of essentially, right? And
Yep.
so I don't know, man. Let him do his thing. You do your thing. We all, we have your back. And Mike, you don't know what you're talking about, pal. You have no
Mm-hmm.
clue. Is his name Mike?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something
Mike
Weaver.
Weaver. I don't know.
I'm gonna drop his handle in the show notes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that mean. I don't care about you that much. But
I get it all
moving
the
on.
time. I get it on DCMX. Like I'll get people that I'll comment about my tools and stuff, and you know, I don't like today. RH22 took a picture of our brake depressor on Ty's bike. Basically it
Mm-hmm.
holds in the front brake lever to open up the master cylinder, which releases the air bubbles and stuff out the top of the master cylinder, which brings your firmness of your brake back, right? It's 14.95, Allie. It's $14.95 on my website. But then you got guys that will comment like, you can just fucking use a zip tie. You can use a rubber band. Then do that. Like, why are you taking the time to comment on my stuff? Like, then go do that. Like, get out of here. But
No, they're too
it's the same
busy
type of
being on
stuff.
Instagram being mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I don't know. I get it too.
they can't do it. Yeah. But I will say, if people are mean on the internet, like you're doing something right. So I'm like, yeah, that's a good sign. Like
Yeah.
that means people are engaging and they're idiots. So moving on. we
Moving on.
are finally we have a race tomorrow. I don't know what it is about off weeks. I'm just like my life is so boring. Like I don't have any of the sports that I like. Like I'm like we didn't have an F1 race. We're nowhere near college football. Like but we are back. We have the WIC tomorrow. There is drama. What is going on?
Is there
We heard about
drama?
the Conan brothers
We have
and now
drama?
they're not coming. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hello. What are we
They're
here
not,
for?
they're not coming.
I have heard they're coming and now I've heard they're not. So WTF? What have you heard?
So they do. They want to come here, and I believe it's in their contract that they can come here. I think, don't quote me, I could be wrong, but I think in their contract it says something like they need to win a championship and back the championship up to be able to come
Mm.
here, or something like that. But I do know some folks that did talk to KTM direct in the U.S. and KTM for basically said for Southwick it's not going to happen. I do believe they are still trying to make this happen for Redbud. It'll
Mm.
be interesting to see if they make it or not, but I think it'd be rad. And then there was talk of Hurling's also that he was going to try to come to Southwick as well.
Can
There's
you
talks of
imagine?
that. but
And Kaida Wolf, like I know there wasn't Kaida Wolf talk, but I'm like, can you imagine like if we just got like this like random like tidal wave of GP riders for like a random pro national, like the
well,
chaos.
what's going to be wild, right? Is if the Kona brothers do come here for obviously one of them is going to race 450, one will race 250, but just putting another dynamic in the 450 class with Jet,
Mm-hmm.
um, and obviously it's Redbud, right? It's 4th of July weekend. It's America. You're putting another rider from another country in there. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it spicy, I think.
Yeah.
Um, but let's be honest. I I still think Jet has got these guys handled.
God, I do too. I do too. And there's no way to cut it. I mean, that he's not winning. I mean, I so want Eli to get the starts figured out. Like Katie and I talked about it on Monday. We're like, is Rhino helping him with starts? Like, is he like is that why Rhino is there? Like, are we pulling out all the stops so Eli can figure out starts? I think that's the only challenger. I mean, AP's gotten a few, but yeah, it's the Jets show.
It's the Jets show. But I mean, it would be cool to see the Conans come over and to see what they could do, right? What honestly is going to be very interesting. I don't know if you want to segue into this, but we can. But you have um, Conan's potentially coming over for Redbud. You've
Mm-hmm.
got Cairoli going to be here for a few rounds for on Ducati, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Prado, right? You've got
Ooh,
you've got
Prado.
some GP
Ooh.
riders that are coming over, and then you've got Prado that's been here but hasn't raced a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
How does that go? And where does everybody stack up? And there's been some debate, right? I've seen some debate online if because Cairoli for sure is coming. He's coming for a couple
Mm-hmm.
rounds. Can Cairoli beat Prado? And that's a big debate.
Ooh.
There's a lot of people saying that no, there's no way Cairoli beats Prado. But Allie, I don't know, man.
I mean, I hate
Cairoli's
to say
pretty
this.
good,
He is pretty good.
and he's been on that bike for a while.
Yeah.
The bike, I think that will be here that he is riding is going to be different than the bike that he's probably been riding in Europe. This is the,
Mm-hmm.
the engine's going to be stock with the pipe and some mapping and stuff, but chassis wise, it's going to be a production chassis essentially. So probably a little bit different, but still, he's been on that platform for a while. We know Cairoli is incredible. Even when he was over here was it last year or 2 years ago?
He was 2 years ago.
He was fantastic, I thought.
Yep.
But he's been off the bike, in race shape, if you will, for a few years. So I don't know. I guess that question's to you. What do you think?
I don't know. I think Antonio is one of those like just freaks. Like I put him in the Dungy League, not just because of the KTM thing, but I just think that like he's always gonna be a bad dude on a bike, you know? So I think that he's gonna be competitive. And I think on the other side of it, not to offend your poor Cowie soul, like Prado is big time struggling. So I mean, I could totally see my Moto mind, like Prado, the Cairolis, the Conans, like all going to some, whatever French restaurant and just being like, God, the American food sucks. And this isn't even the worst part about my life right now. Like, I could see
Yeah,
it. I don't know. Did you watch his vlog? Did you get a chance to watch it? Because I've watched it twice now and I have comments.
I haven't watched it yet, but I did see the preview. And you and I kind of briefly spoke about this, but I think based on just the preview of the vlog,
Mm-hmm.
and that I think says a lot, right? That obviously there's issues. They're
Mm-hmm.
not where they want to be currently, but they're very positive. They've got a very positive outlook that this is going to work out, and they're going to get things figured out, and all is going to be fine, right? Is that
Yep.
is that the gist of it?
Yeah, and honestly, like I appreciate that. Like I know everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, like sound the alarms for Cowie," but I'm like, I wish we could take more of like the F1 mindset, which is like be more transparent. Like you don't have to kiss the ass of your OEM. Like I mean, there's a fine line, but yeah, I wrote down some of my favorite parts of the vlog. Like he calls Cowie his new family, like and very like optimistic about it. So like you could see like he's going into this, he knows what a big deal it is. Um he said he goes to Fox every week. I have questions about that. I feel like you could go to Fox every week and enjoy yourself. But like, what are you doing at Fox every week? Like, I don't
Well,
understand.
maybe like because some of his kits that he's been wearing it's like a lot of the pink stuff, which I
The
think is
pink.
sick. I
I
I, I
love
like
it.
here I am on Real Housewives of Moto saying pink is awesome.
Yes.
But no, his gear is badass. Like I like the pink look on that with the green. I think it just looks
Mm-hmm.
good. But um, so he's probably doing some custom sets because I don't think that
Yep.
stuff is released to the public. So
Yeah.
they're probably
They talk
one-off
about it in
sets
that
for him.
vlog.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. Like they want his feedback. I think it's very interesting that they're talking about pink on Kawi, and like we're all thinking about a 4 on Kawi with pink gear one day. And so they gave Prado the pink gear. I'm not saying that was intentional, but I'm just like, interesting. So yeah, he it's definitely not been a good year by any shape of
So here,
whatever.
so here's my take on this, right? And because what his vlog says is a little bit different, maybe, than what I'm hearing on the back end,
Oh,
or maybe not.
rumbles.
Yeah, rumbles, right? That
Mm-hmm.
that it's not as great as he may lead on that it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they are really struggling. He's been very open about the bike and the bike needing more power. And let me tell you, all the 450s in the 450 class have got plenty of power.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have the power that Star Yamaha has? No, I don't think so. But they still have plenty of power to be competitive. That's just that's the 450 nature. I do know that Anderson and AC had complained in the past about the power on the new generation Kawi. Um, and in stock form, like the bike and the stock platform, it is the mellowest 450 of them all, except the Ducati. Ducati may be a little bit more mellow than the Kawi, but it's the mellowest one.
Hmm.
But I mean, they've got these engine technicians, Ali. They are wizards, and these ECU guys, they're wizards. I don't think that bike is slow, and I think Ken Roxon went on the AC and JB's show this week, and
Mm-hmm.
that was something that they had asked him is what does he think about you know him blaming the bike, and Roxon said no, he doesn't believe it's the bike. And here's what I think. I think
Mm.
it's a lot of things. I think it's the bike. I think that yes, maybe he wants more power. I think the transition to America, the food here, just the whole way of life in America is completely different than it is in Spain, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's coming off of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's moving from one platform from a steel frame to an aluminum frame, which that alone is a big change, right? So I think it's a lot of things all in one. And the easiest thing to blame is the bike.
I think you're dead right. It's funny. I'm glad that Justin and AC asked Kenny that, because if there's anybody you want to ask that of, I mean, maybe other than like Marvin, it's Kenny. Um, I think that Kenny is an exceptional talent. I think that, I mean, we don't need to go down like the rabbit trail of like my love of Kenny again, but I had Kenny not been injured, I think that we would have seen a run of Kenny championships. So I want to caveat with, I don't think that Prado is on the same level as Kenny in my mind. Although I will say I did not follow Kenny in Europe in 2012. So like, shut up. Um, but it does take a whole nother level to overcome all of those things that you talked about. I mean, moving to another country, moving to another platform, moving, I mean, and now he's moving across the country from California to club. So, I mean, that's a lot of change. And I don't know. I don't know if like we bought into the hype, believe the hype. I don't know if we bought into the hype with the 3-year contract. I think that was shocking to me, that I was like, okay. Cause I mean, other than like Kenny, when's the last time we saw a contract that was 3 to 5 years? I mean, Kenny's was 5 at Honda. It was a big deal. So I think that all of us downstream were like, okay, like show up and show out. And yeah, he did get injured, and it was whoops related, right? I think, right? It was whoops related in practice
Pretty
or
sure, yeah.
qualifying. So it's like, I get it. Like you'd never seen them. And he talks about it in the vlog. He was like, oh my gosh, like whoops in life, like in the flesh. Um, so I mean, I don't blame him if he's miserable. I bet he I bet he misses his little sister. We don't have to go there. We're not going there.
Wow.
Just go look at any
Wow.
of his sisters. Just go. I'm gonna get in trouble. But I think that's a European thing or a Spanish thing. But whatever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, follow me at Real Housewives of Moto. I'll send you the receipts. But I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Kawi. I feel bad for his dad. His dad's been over here. I mean, really, like it's just it sucks. Like I don't want to see anybody fail at that caliber.
I don't either, but you got to think, right? Cowie gave him a 3-year deal because Cowie believed in him, right? And the reason they gave him a 3-year deal is I think they knew that he was going to have a challenge, bar he without the injury, right? It's just a big transition from the KTM to the Kawasaki being the different chassis, like I explained, the whole culture of here. It's just it takes some time for these guys to acclimate. When Ferrandis came over, he didn't start winning right away.
It's a good point.
Kenny didn't. He won pretty dang quick, but it wasn't like immediate. He didn't come here and just all of a sudden start winning his first second.
No, he did. I'm pretty sure he won the West Coast 250s his first year.
Was it the first year or the second year?
Oh, it might have been his second year. I'll give you that.
Okay, Kenny's a freak. Kenny's a
Kenny
freak.
is a freak. I know it's a bad
But
example. Let's go
but
more with
Vial,
good.
like Vial and Vial, right?
Tom.
It took
Hmm.
took Vial a little bit to catch on. So I think for I think Prater needs to stick it out. I think that they will get the bike figured out. I mean, look at Ken Roxon's on a Suzuki, right? The
Hmm.
Suzuki is like a joke in the pits at one point, and now they're selling a lot of Suzukis now because the bike's good, right? But it's not good in stock form. So the factory Kawasaki technicians can get that bike to where it needs to be. I guarantee you that, right?
Yeah.
He needs to he needs to shovel this freaking season under the carpet and move on. It just is what it is. And the thing that's concerning, honestly, is it's like now people are starting to talk about Chase.
Hmm.
How does
Yeah.
this affect Chase? Like, what is Chase thinking now? You know, so that's a whole another can of worms we can maybe go down another day. But
Yeah. Yeah. I've had some boots on the ground chats about Chase and how Kawi fits into it. And it's just like, bro, I don't think this is what you're looking for. I don't think what he's looking for exists, but anyhow, we won't go there. Um, Other things that dropped that was genius. Katie and I talked about this on Monday, but genius on the off week. Jace dropping 100 hours with Cole Davies. Holy crap, so good. So we're going to talk about it
so
again.
good,
Oh, it
so
was so
good.
good. Oh my gosh. So I mean, of course, like I love it because it was in Tallahassee and like it was my hometown. And I just think about like poor little Cole, like without his driver's license, like he can't even drive himself around. But this is the kind of content that like we want to see. Like obviously Jace has built this platform. He is a behemoth in the moto media, but it shows you somebody who you never would have seen before. I mean, he even says it in his opening monologue that he's like, normally we can see these amateur phenoms from a mile away. He's talking about AC, things like that. But like Cole seemingly came out of nowhere. I mean, we know because Daniel was involved in getting Cole over here with Will. But man, it just made me love him even more. And it's, him being at Star and being around Deegan, and like we're not even gonna talk about the Deegan like takeouts and are they friends or whatever. He's just such a different energy in comparison to Deegan. And then the fact that like he's fast when he's healthy and he's hilarious. Like I think he's a great brand ambassador. So I think that Jace just like did a solid for the industry, for the audience of Moto, for Cole. It was just perfection all the way around. What do you think?
It was 100%, 100%.
100%.
It was 100 out of 10. Jace knocked it out of the park. I think the whole storytelling of that video was incredible. Um, One thing I got to ask you, like, what does that little piece of property, that little house in Tallahassee cost? Because that was looking real nice.
Oh,
I like.
I looked it up. I looked it up.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say if you dropped it down in California, it'd be like 5 mil. Like
Yeah.
it so do the math on Tallahassee. I'm gonna be creepy, but I also looked up the Deegan's compound, which is like 15 minutes away from my old house and like my best friend's house where I stay when I go to Tallahassee. And it's beautiful, like the Deegan's house, and it was like 1.8 in Tallahassee. Like
Well,
go
that's
if you
that's
want
not.
property, go to Tallahassee.
That's you saw that RV posted his house for sale this week in
Oh,
Newport Beach.
12.5.
12.9.
12.9.
Yeah,
That thing is gorgeous.
that's
Like,
badass.
oh my gosh. Yeah, we
But
could
no,
talk
that
about
that piece of
real
property,
estate.
I was like, man, that little house on with the trees and stuff, that was a cool little piece of property. But
Yeah.
just the fact that it showed that Cole struggled like during the week,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
that whole storytelling of he was way off the pace of the other guys, he was struggling, he overcame that, and I think that's what's cool about our sport is it's that's a kind of behind the curtain a little bit, right? Because I think
Hmm.
most people think that he is at the track every week and he's beating Deegan and beating all these guys, but no, he was like way off the pace. But then he shows up at the races and he's winning. So I think that whole thing is cool. I'll tell you right now that Jace has connections. He's got connections with Red Bull. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's developing connections with Monster.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't shock me if Jace is the one, and he's also working with Wes from Verb.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Would not shock me one bit if these guys were able to break the mold and get into Netflix.
I think you're dead on. I said a couple episodes ago that I was like, I feel like Jace could be the Will Bruxton of Moto. Will's the, little bit drama, little bit commentating from F1. If Jace doesn't want to bring the drama part of it, I would like to apply. I would like to apply for the
See,
drama
I
subplots.
I even told Michael Lindsay, I think Michael Lindsay reminds me of Will
I can see
Buxton.
that. I
Yeah,
can see that.
yeah.
Also, next time you talk to Michael, would you please tell him that his internet PDA is adorable most of the time, but sometimes makes me want to throw up.
Okay, I
Most
got
of the time, it's adorable,
listen.
but
I
there's a
have
few.
I have to ask you a question. You saw the
What?
picture that he posted with his girlfriend,
Which one?
right?
There's been like a million.
The last one. I think they were at the beach and he had her like,
Yeah, it looked like an engagement shoot.
okay, did you not think it was an engagement
No,
shoot?
I totally thought that's what it was. Yes.
Okay, him and I just had this debate the other day because I'm like, dude, so like, did you put a ring on it? And he's like, no, I don't know why everybody's asking me that. I'm like, are you
Oh my
serious?
gosh.
Like,
No,
you
let
put
me
the
let me
white
look into the
heart?
camera. Michael. Michael. Everybody thought that was an engagement photo. No,
He
everybody
is
thought that.
so delusional. He's like, no, I don't think so. And I'm like, yeah, bro, that with the white heart as the comment and everything, like,
Uh-huh.
come on.
Let
Anyhow,
me tell you two other images that had me thinking something, and everybody in my DMs was saying the same thing, and so I went and told them. Um, Justin Barsha came back to talk about his injuries a couple months ago, and it was like close up on his face, and I just like panicked. I was like, he's retiring, he's not coming back from injury. Oh my gosh! Like, so I sent it to Amber, and I was like, hey, I like my girls agree with me that like we were panicking about this, that Justin was retiring. She was like, oh my gosh, I never even thought of that. So that was one. The second one was when Jalik Swole came back, and Jalik posted that black and white photo. I don't know what it is. I have like PTSD with Moto Media and black and white, but it's like I see black and white and I automatically think it's going to be a retirement thing. So I sent that to his girlfriend. Sophia had said the same thing. She was like, oh my God, I don't even think about these things, but you're so right. And it's just like, I don't know. We're just so conditioned to have a reaction, and that's what social media is for. But yeah, I love Real Housewives of Moto because the collective think tank of female fans think the same way, and all of them thought that Michael had been engaged.
yeah, well,
It kills me. But going back to Gypsy and $100 with Cole Davies, he has Hopper on this morning. I started listening to the episode right before we started record. he goes into talking about Hopper's question of AP about the Eli thing, and then Math is getting mad. But what I really giggled at is that he's like, okay, Pookie. He calls Math is Pookie. And I'm like, it's just so good because it's like it's a dig, but it's got layers, and like if we have to explain the layers to you, it's not funny. But dang, it was good. It was
hey,
a good one.
you know me. I listened to the Pulp Show a little bit this week because I did a little bit of driving, and I normally don't listen to Pulp. You know why. Our listeners, if they know me well enough, they know why too. But it was so funny because they were talking about it, right? And then Berluti was in studio,
Mhm.
and he was in studio with Skip Norfolk, and um, I don't know, it came up, and Steve was like, you can not like me because this, and this, and but and you can not like me because I don't like Trump and blah blah blah. And Berluti's like, what? You don't like Trump? Like,
I did
added.
hear that.
Did you hear that? Oh my God,
Yeah,
I
and
was.
Steve didn't even stop though. He was like, nope. He just kept on talking.
He did, and Berluti was like, huh? I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Well, I mean, nobody has ever accused Dan of not being a patriot, but I have to ask you. I have to ask you something that started on another podcast that is pertaining to your patriotism. So
Okay.
don't kill me. Des Nations talk. Like, how does this go down if Chase goes to Kawi on October 1, but Des Nations is after that, and KTM is not gonna like want him on their bike at that point? So, like, who are you siding with? Are you siding with Kawi or are you siding with America?
Well, I
I'm
appreciate
gonna put
you
you on the
asking me
spot.
this, Ali, on in this forum, and not when I'm laying on a massage table getting a massage after the. Oh, I'm just gonna blow him out. It's Daniel. Daniel's
Daniel,
blowing me up as I'm trying to get a massage because he needs an answer to his question. But so
I had to ask it. Daniel, it's my fault. America or Kawi? We got to know. The fans are dying to know.
So I think the question, or what, and God bless Tutu, because Tutu had to break it down to me because I was like half asleep when I was asked this. So anyhow, basically, if Chase is asked to ride for Disney Nations
Mm-hmm.
or Motocross of Nations, uh, and Cowie would not let him ride
Mm-hmm.
a KTM for the
Mm-hmm.
race, and Cowie would not support Chase on a Cowie at Motocross of Nations because
Mm-hmm.
they typically don't want to be involved for whatever reason, which is stupid. Would I side with Kawasaki or would I side with America? That's the question.
Drum roll.
I'm siding with America.
I'm shocked.
I think that there is a time and a place where you have to bend the rules and the contracts a little bit.
I thought you were going to
And
say bend the knee. I thought you were going to say bend the knee.
oh no, 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 we don't bend no knee, Allie. We don't bend a knee, Allie. Um, and I think this is one of them, right? This is like the
Yeah.
biggest, arguably the biggest race of the year. The whole world looks forward to this. We have had a tough time in the recent years, winning Motocross of Nations. We did obviously with Chase, Eli, and Justin Cooper, but
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to. I think you have to, and honestly, I think that's good for Kawasaki. Even if they were to allow him to race the KTM, I think that's a good look for Kawasaki, to
Oh,
be
it's a
quite
great
honest.
PR move. It
It's a
is.
great PR move. So
I don't know that it'll happen, but I'm
I
here for
don't
it.
I don't know it'll be happen either because you know how just corporations they just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about dollars and cents. So, but I think they should. Uh, or Kawasaki, if you're listening, please prepare a motorcycle for Chase Sexton. What a great way to step back into Motocross of Nations, right? Having the previous national champion
Mm-hmm.
on Kawasaki for the race, I think that's epic.
Yep.
Obviously, he won't. I think Jet's going to be the current national champion, but the past national champion, I think you got to. I think you got to do it. And he's been on winning teams before, so
I just had a thought. So when you win Des Nations, you get to run 1, 2, 3 the next year, correct?
correct.
So Jet or Hunter could potentially be running the 3 in Eli's last Des Nations. I hate that.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
hate
I
that.
know. Eh.
That
I
always
think
that's so weird to me. But I'm like, run your normal number. If there's two 17s to this episode, like we're not dumb. I don't know. Some of us are dumb. I take that back.
that's just never going to happen. I mean, didn't Eli have a triple digit uh, when the year that they won?
I don't
Wasn't
think
it
it had
like
triple
what?
digit. I think it
Wasn't it
had
like
double
what?
digit.
Wasn't it like 101 or something like that, or 111 or something like that?
I don't know. The numberings are weird, and I
Yeah.
get it. America and Europe, we have very different views. But to bring it back full circle, to wrap this bad boy up, going back to the top of the episode, Deegan doesn't go this year. What is the interwebs going to do?
I mean, really,
He's.
he's got zero excuse not to go.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really think he's not going to go?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like last year he had no excuse, but then it was like the elbow or whatever, and yeah, I mean, like, why not? If you're healthy and you've dominated the outdoors and you dominated Supercross and you love America, why not? So
There
I think
is
it's a bad look if he doesn't.
there is absolute. I mean, I didn't think last year there was an excuse for it. This year there is absolute zero excuse for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use the excuse, I need to prepare for Supercross because I need that
Nope.
Supercross title. He's got it. He's going to back it up easily. He's going to move on to 450s for outdoors. In fact, I think he probably steps up to a 450 Supercross. I've heard no, that's not going to happen, but it wouldn't shock
Hmm.
me. But
Hmm.
I think he defends right the 250 Supercross title. But there's zero reason not to go. And honestly,
Yep.
if he doesn't go, it's going to be it was a bad look last year. It's going to be an even worse look this year.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, does he care? Like, do
I
you
don't think
think
so.
he really cares? Because I don't.
Nope. Nope. I think when you're that rich and you're that famous and you're that good at what you do, you live in a whole other headspace. So no, I don't think he cares.
Did he really buy that apartment or that condo on top of that building with the pool?
I
Did
don't
you see
know.
that?
I did, and I'm trying to find some addresses so I can look it up. and use my investigative journalism scale, my skills, but it wouldn't surprise me. No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, I think that what the Moto Media world is saying that Hayden's bringing in, I think is not correct. I think it's low, and so I think he's fine and can buy real estate wherever the hell he wants.
Yeah, they're doing just fine.
Yep.
Hey,
So,
real quick, can we talk before we go? 2 minutes. Can we talk about his TikToks?
oh, I love them. They're so cringe.
You do
I
love them
love I
because
love
they're
them
cringy.
because they're so bad. Yeah, and Duke Gomez blowing him out for him. I loved it. Oh my gosh. Like we're just not the target demo. Like, I mean, I said this. Did I talk about like going on TikTok earlier or when we were recording? I don't know if I was.
No.
I went on TikTok for like 5 minutes last night because I work for a government contractor. They block TikTok on my phone. It's a whole stupid thing. So I was getting on TikTok on my iPad like the grandma that I am. And all of TikTok is just high school girls like digitally sucking off Deegan. Like
It's
some girl, she literally went up to Brian Deegan at a race and was like, "Hi, my future father-in-law. Will you sign this for your future daughter-in-law?" Blah,
oh my
blah.
god,
It's so gross.
that's
And
hilarious.
I mean, everyone knows. Like, I'm a I'm a Dungy Glazer. Like, I have the body issue where he's naked. I would never do that. First of all, I like Lindsay too much, but gross. Like he knows what he's doing because he's got a TikTok army behind him, but they're so cringe.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Look at our timer. There you go. We got to get out of here.
I got the dog barking. Somebody's at the door. You know, life,
That's
Allie.
all good. That's all good. Dan, we gotta let you go and say goodbye to that pup for me. But hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting. I love this dynamic. My Romies love you too. So I'm hoping that they send their husbands your way to get parts because we don't know what we're talking about.
So I'm
with
approved.
parts.
So I'm approved.
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs
Oh,
up.
all right, sweet.
Heck
I was
yeah.
kind of worried.
No worries. The Romies love you.
Good. All right, sweet.
Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.